Curtis DIYer.
DIYers, obviously, we reacted to J. Cole's new song in anticipation of the Fall Off, Diss 2, Track 2. And I know a lot of my reactor peers, you know, they've been feeling a certain way towards J. Cole ever since the apology before the battle took off. And I am not naive. As I go through this story today, which obviously you see the title, Why is J. Cole getting the treatment that Drake deserves? That is my opinion. I'm blaming Drake for every single thing that happens bad today. It's my prerogative, my birthday tomorrow. Don't be giving no birthday presents on my birthday gift on my birthday. Blame Drake for everything. The price of eggs in the U.S., it's the Canadian. You get a flat tire, fucking rolled over a Drake today. I'm blaming him for everything. But I want to get to the stories because it was interesting to see all the reactions. I had a positive reaction, even though I was very critical of the Port Antonio freestyle, and it just was more confusing than it did answer questions. With that said, though, I'm going to start off here. Everybody's favorite truth teller, Fat Joe, says he doesn't look at J. Cole the same anymore. He doesn't care how good J. Cole raps. He bowed out of the Kendrick Lamar battle, and Fat Joe can't respect that. Can he respect this Drake appeal that is happening, though? No, he can't do that because he was an OVO model for the clothing brand, huh? Okay, never mind.
You said J. Cole. I don't look at him the same. He ain't come outside. Sometimes you tell me, Joe, you want the 100 million, this, that, you got to say the truth. I don't look at him the same. The fucking sword is dull. I don't care what he spit. Because I've been listening to him spitting. I always said he's one of the greatest and all that.
Did he just say the sword is dull? Okay, two perspectives on that. One, I do understand why people are like, yo, them punchlines where you talking all that shit about being the best rapper, they don't hit the same. I get that, right? Because now you're like, hey, you had an opportunity to show and prove and you backed away from it, or you kind of half-heartedly jumped into the mix of it. But ain't nobody else diss J. Cole since.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and
Ain't nobody that would have been on his radar try to diss him next. Who? You tell me who stepped up after that situation. If anything, I think there's a lot of folks that are in that particular industry that are on call, and they're being very careful how they address this situation on records. Because I would say J. Cole is somebody on the way to retiring is probably ready to catch a body after this situation. I don't care all that peace talk he's talking about in that apology. I think he would love to catch a body. You said Tyler, the Creator, did. I don't think he would look at Tyler, the Creator, as somebody of equal ilk in terms of lyricism. No disrespect to that gentleman, right? Like, it has to be somebody that would be a high display of lyricism back and forth. Nobody done stepped up in that industry and said some crazy shit outside of a podcast. That's a point I wanted to make about the whole dull sword thing. Freddie Gibbs did? Well, Freddie Gibbs be talking shit to everybody, though. And that nigga from Gary, Indiana. Shit, I said some shit, and I stopped talking about Freddie Gibbs. You know, one year, when Freddie Gibbs first moved to the L.A., and he started taking over, I was like, how y'all let a nigga from Gary, Indiana take over? And this nigga followed me. I said, all right, I'm going to stop talking about this nigga, though.
Relevant to me when you talking all like gangster shit and they call you to the yard and you don't step outside. I can't look at you. That's like you seeing the dude who they always told you, and you always thought he was tough. And you see some other kingpin nigga, some smack his cheek off, and the nigga, my bad, and
what scenario is this?
Walk off. I'm keeping it a buck with you. That's how I look at this
music,
shit.
Man. The music is great.
I don't give a fuck if you lose. I never forget Everlast and Eminem. Everlast definitely knew he couldn't beat Eminem, but he came outside to the yard. He came outside. And so that's just how I look at it. Big up J. Cole, the whole crew, North Carolina and all that, but he caught stage fright.
If he caught stage fright and bowed out gracefully, or maybe not as gracefully as we expected, what you call it when Drake sues? Okay, so he is that called bowing out the fade? Like what do you call that when you suing somebody? I don't. This is why I took that rhetoric when people were talking about music being boring now because their favorite Canadian wasn't taking over. I took it with a grain of salt because I'm like, how many people is on the payroll? Because there's no way that you could hold this up in one light and then look at that and say, it's a different situation. I don't want to get into that. It's too messy. Yeah, he jumped in a fight, but he also called the police after getting his ass whooped. He tried to sue his job for how he got his ass whooped for a battle he chose to jump into himself. He willingly got into a fight and said, I could take him. I'm taller. And got his ass mollywopped. And then turned around and said, I'm fucking suing everybody in here who recorded this shit. How dare you put that shit on World Star? That's exactly the scenario we're looking at. Why doesn't he get the same kind of... Never mind.
Supposed to come outside, man. He did.
He did, man.
All right.
And I understand that they're two grown men having a back and forth conversation about opinion, but I would hold Jadakiss's opinion to a higher light because he's battle tested. He has been in battles with folks like Beanie Siegel. Like, he actually does this shit in a different type of way than a Fat Joe. No disrespect to his art. If he's saying, nah, let him cook. It ain't like he's trying to get back in the graces of people to say, please believe I'm the best rapper alive. That nigga just shared a song rewinding his life from death to birth. Wish you want him to quit music? That's crazy.
Bowed out gracefully, but I don't never mean he wasn't. I mean, where we come from, all call outs.
What they say in the Game of Thrones, what they say, the North never forgets. Remember when the Starks come?
What about the North always sues?
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Did I just make that up? I think so.
They got the North never forgets. Yeah, you're not waiting 6 months to let the smoke clear to come back outside and talk legendary and all that. Like, it's like the North never forgets.
Into that. He just ended what he into.
All right.
He the new
Coming
shit.
from you,
Shit is crazy.
you go to war. Jadakiss go to
different.
war. Jadakiss go to war. The Locks go to war. I'm a J. Cole fan. I'm just telling you, they don't hit me yet.
You can't say all that shit, didn't say, I'm a J. Cole fan. I feel like that's what people be using when they want to soften up the disrespect. You can't say that shit about me and then say, I'm a Curtis King fan. No, the fuck you not. I just don't think that he a real man the way he handled that. But I'm a J. Cole fan. I know that's the last thing I think you are, sir.
It's tough. You know what I'm saying? If Fat Joe talking all that Fat Joe the gangster, there's a video of me getting my face smacked off. You ain't gonna hear Flo Joe the same. You gonna be like, man, and that was your face smacked off.
What about, is there a video of Fat Joe robbing all of them kids at the gymnasium and taking a trash bag and taking all of they stuff? Nobody had a Polaroid. Is it? All right.
In public was like, yo, said, no, I rescind it. I'm coming back. No, I didn't mean it. You know when you riding bike and then you do the pedal backwards, the shit pedals backwards?
I had about enough of these analogies. Let's continue on. Oh, buckos. Shout out to my dog Glass Malone. He had a really interesting analogy. I just want to get to the name part, but I'm just trying to get an understanding of like all the different temperatures that exist out here when it comes to J. Cole. Glass Malone said this. He compared him to a very interesting NBA player. Look at that.
Listen, J. Cole is Tim Duncan. His game is fundamentally sound. Right?
What's his bank shot?
Fundamentally
What's his
sound.
bank shot? What's his bank shot?
His bank shot is just rapping.
So for those who don't understand the reference, if you're an NBA fan, you know this exactly. Tim Duncan, 4 championships, I believe, in the NBA. One of the most dominant technical big man in the game. You can't take nothing from him. Matter of fact, he's the only player that really gave Kobe a run for his money, outed him out the playoffs. Like, he was that guy. However, he played a particular style of ball that people don't always bring him up as one of the top 5 of all time because it's very technical. It's very like you know, it's sometimes it's boring to watch if you don't know the fundamentals of basketball. 5 championships. I'm tripping. 5 championships, 3 MVPs. Good looking out, Dr. Seymour. 5 championships, 3 MVPs. And this is probably one of your first times, if you're not an NBA fan, hearing about him. But I bet you know Kobe. Shout out to Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace. Kobe, Gigi, and all the families that were lost. Today is the 81-point game, the game that I just so happen to miss. But when you think about superstars, you don't really think about Tim Duncan because he kind of like checks in, did his job. He had a very technical game. Nobody was out there shooting the basketball and saying, Duncan. It's just, it just sounds crazy to say out loud. So that's why he's comparing them.
I mean, it's smooth. You know what I mean? He just smooth. It's fundamentally sound.
Huh.
J. Cole is fundamentally sound.
J. Cole ain't got no post-up game. He
don't got a little post-up. He got a little post-up. J. Cole could do. Look, J. Cole as a creative, you know what is his post-up game? He don't even be using it often, but it's like when he make them hit records. That's like his little post-up. That's his little post-up.
It feels like this might be the general consensus for a lot of people is that they heard the new song Track 2. And if you're not someone who is a J. Cole fan, if you're not someone who is just a fan of lyricism in general, if you're not an artist who understands the complexities of it, maybe these folks weren't as impressed. You know, because they're looking for some kind of direct response to what the hell happened during and after that battle. And Port Antonio, for a lot of people, wasn't enough of an explanation. I know, I can pretty much guarantee if this is indeed the Fall Off, the last album, he gonna give you all the information you're looking for. Especially if we're gonna compare this to NBA players. NBA players tend to talk the most shit in their last few years. Kobe was one of them. They talk the most shit during that last season because they don't care. I'm not going to be here next year. That's on y'all. So I would assume that J. Cole's going to do that. Whether or not he could even say a statement that's good enough, some people, I don't think they're going to ever let it go. But I think that the same people who are going really, really hard in the paint on this situation in terms of his skill set are the same people who didn't like it beforehand. Like, I've always heard about his production choices, and I didn't agree with, well, at least after Forest. What was the name of that joint? What was the name of the joint with him on the house? What was the one on the joint? After that project, I was like, KOD, all of these projects, he found the production at work because he stopped producing the majority of the shit for himself, I believe. Forest Hills, there we go, Forest Hills. After Forest Hills, that whole jacket was off of him for me. But I feel like a lot of people already didn't like him, and this just gave them more fuel to dislike. I like this take here from my folks over at the Rap Roundtable. Peep this out.
You can't be a hip hop artist. You can't be a rapper and MC and only use battling as an aesthetic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't just be, on whatever verses, whatever freestyles, whatever, features, be like, I'm the best, I'll take anybody out. You looking at the face of death, yada, yada, yada. And then when the heat actually comes, you fold. That means that you was never really with the shits.
I can't argue with that one. I can't argue with that one. I cannot argue with that one. That is another point of view. As I'm sitting in here, I'm not coping for Cole. I'm just as disappointed as you because for me, I didn't want to see Kendrick versus Drake. That was a gift that I was like, thank you. But I don't think I'm going to use it. Shit. It was one of them gifts where it's like, I guess I'll thank you for the clothes for Christmas. It's not an Xbox, but I'll take it. That's how I treated it because I really wanted to see Cole and I wanted to see Kendrick dominate all the conversations and attention with a high display of lyricism. That's what I wanted to see. But we got Drake versus Kendrick. And I am still happy because, damn it, Euphoria is one of the greatest diss songs of all time. That is a fucking masterpiece. I was sitting there listening to this shit casually and I was like, how does someone this fucking great at rapping? How do you think of all these angles? How do you predict shit that's still happening this morning with Drakesha? This shit is, the beat switches, anything that I was kind of on the fence about when I first heard it, I can't even think of it anymore. I just listened to that shit. I looked at my wife. I was just sitting. I said, "The fuck was that Canadian nigga thinking?" I'll let him finish off.
You was just using that battling type of verbiage as an aesthetic for getting your bars off, for rapping.
Huh.
You can't only talk shit when your opponent is imaginary. When you have a real opponent in front of you, you gotta talk the same shit, bro. The same shit with the same full chest. You know,
shadow boxing.
And then and then when the smoke actually comes, you say it with half your chest and then apologize. No, you was never really about it ever.
I'm not mad at that.
You just use it as an aesthetic.
Because a lot of rappers do be using that shit as an aesthetic. But you know who else do that shit? Since I'm not always the biggest fan of comparing rappers and artists to athletes. NBA players do that shit all the time.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell
How many summer tapes do you see of an NBA player showing you a 3-point shot that their team will have no use for during the regular season? Dwight Howard's one of them. he was yoinking, yoink, yoink, yoink. Don't even look right. Shoulders all stiff. Yoink, yoink, yoink. And he's hitting them. But nigga, they don't need you to shoot threes. They need you to get boards and blocks. Ben Simmons, leave that man alone. He didn't went through enough. If you can't make it on the Clippers, he'll ball me up right now. I'll tell you that. I ain't talking shit. But golly, if you can't make it on the Clippers. But that's the thing about it, is that you see so many players show you these workout tapes, and especially if they're on your team, you get hyped. I'm tired of falling for that bullshit. They dribbling faster. They like, ooh, they sweating. They're like they picked up some muscle. You like, oh, we finna win the championship this year. You shut up about my Clippers. Hold this L tonight. It's my birthday tomorrow. I don't think y'all winning tonight. I hope y'all don't win. I hope y'all don't win. Fuck your Clippers. That's why Kawhi ain't gonna be in there, cause his baby knees hurt. That's why he got baby knees. Low management. That's why his baby knees ain't gonna work tonight. I hope he don't play. That nigga's scary. Let's go back though, because I want to contrast what really happened with this apology, and I want to contrast this to good old Drakey. Clippers fans exist. If I didn't live in LA, I would ask the same question.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
What are you a fan of? If you're a Clipper fan, what are you really a fan of? You look up at the banners and you get inspired by seeing more banners from Taylor Swift than the Clippers because she sold out your arena? That's a damn shame. How the hell Taylor Swift got, I'm right here. I can hear the tears. I'm right here. Come at me. That's funny. Let's go back to this apology though. I really want to, I feel like sometimes when we talk about it and we have revisionist history, the shit hits harder because we start adding other layers to it. We're adding other perspectives to it. Can we just revisit this for a second? And I want to see, do you feel the same way? Because I'm about to have a little session with y'all after this where I'm going to get your feedback and we're going to include this in the video. But here's where he was talking during his Dreamville Festival. To give it some proper context though, because I think people always forget this part. I believe it was confirmed that Schoolboy Q, who was also booked for this Dreamville Fest, at some point talked to J. Cole during the day. And he told him something. I don't know the details of it, but if I was to assume, I would say Schoolboy was probably looking out for J. Cole and saying, look, I see what kind of timing you on. I know that y'all on your rap shit, but Kendrick hate this nigga, bro, and he's on a warpath, and I don't think you want to get involved in that. I know it'd probably be some rap shit with you, but right now, I'm just assuming, based upon the shit I hear, you don't want to get in the middle of that because it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. Was it not confirmed? I don't know. I'm just assuming because he was at the festival and then apology happened the same night. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to leave that up there. Speculation. But it kind of checks out when I think about this, because everything that Cole was talking about in this apology was more so about his relationship with Kendrick. And it's like, you wouldn't have to confirm that. You wouldn't have to confirm that if everybody knows it's a friendly fade. But let's continue.
So I'm so proud of that project, except for one part. It's one part of that shit that make me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my fucking life, right? And I know this is not what a lot of people want to hear. I know I can hear my niggas up there right now like, nah, don't do that. But I got to keep it 100 with y'all, right? I damn near had a relapse, right? Because y'all heard some shit that happened 3 weeks ago, however long it was. Y'all heard that bazooka that was dropped on the motherfucking game, right? So all of this time of me moving on my own accord, for the first time I was tested. Why am I tested? Because I got the world and I got my niggas like, what you gonna do, Cole?
Since we theorizing, can I throw a theory out there that I've already said, but I'm gonna remind you, I'm gonna wake it back up again? When I listen, go back to my reaction of the 7-minute drill song. I listened to that diss and I said, it don't sound like he really want to do this. I said, what if Drake was the one that gassed him up to go be a crash dummy first and see how Kendrick reacts as he's trying to think of his next plan? Because I thought it was really interesting at one point in time, the way that Cole was talking, he was talking as if he didn't have contact with Kendrick and he didn't have contact with Drake. Like they both let me out to dry. I feel like after like that drop, after they did first person freestyle, I really think there was a conversation between Drake and Cole, and I think Drake gassed him up. I know he is his own man. I'm not making no excuses. I'm just saying, in the heat of it, where you know the whole fucking world is talking about this song, and they saying, damn, this nigga embarrassed both of y'all. He made both of y'all look clownish. You might be you might be impressionable in that vulnerable moment. And I can see Drake being someone. I'm blaming everything on Drake today, I told you. I could see him being like, Doc, I wouldn't say shit about him. I wouldn't let that happen. Damn, this nigga's wilding right now, bro. Try to get him on his first person shooter record. What's up with this? He's wilding. You gonna say something? I mean, that's more so y'all lane. You gonna say something, Cole? Man, I don't even know what I would say. Talk about his catalog. Talk about how his albums were duds. You know why I say that? Because in push-ups, you got the same talking points.
Somebody gonna have to tell the
Let me cook. In push-ups, you got the same talking points about mediocre albums. And that's when I looked at, I said, wait a minute. Could that have been encouragement from somebody who's still trying to make a decision about what they gonna do? Using you as a crash dummy. This is a theory that has circulated in my mind. Whether or not it has any legs, I don't know. But it's something worth giving some thought to. Continue.
My niggas like, bit boy, I must have had 1,000 missed calls. Oh my fucking God. Text flooded. I couldn't even answer my shit. Nigga, it's wartime. Boom, 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 right? Niggas want to see blood. And I was conflicted because, one, I know my heart, you know what I mean? And like, I know how I feel about my peers, these two niggas that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this game, let alone chase their greatness.
You said Cole popped that battery out his back with the quickness. The hell was I doing listening to this light-skinned nigga from Canada? That's why you don't trust a nigga that look like that. You don't trust. What was I doing? You know better than that, Cole. What the fuck was I listening to him for? He don't even know what he doing. What the was I doing? He took that battery out quick.
That's right. So I felt conflicted because I'm like, bro, I know I don't really feel no way, but the world want to see blood. I don't know if y'all can feel that, but the world want to see blood.
Oh, and they got it.
So I say all of that to say, in my spirit of trying to like get this music out, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to like,
cause that and this is the part where I'm talking about it. I feel like this is the part where it sounds like you got coerced. Coerced. Is that the word? Coerced? It sounds like you got coerced into being a part of a battle you didn't want to be in a battle about. It sounded like you took some talking points, some pain points that you yourself didn't believe in. Cause it's like, what you say about your homie? What you say about somebody you got the utmost respect for, and you've already said this a million times how much respect you got for this man's art. And then out of nowhere, coerced has no H. Yes, it do. It's silent. I don't know, man. It would set bad in my soul if I didn't mean what I did and if I was influenced by somebody to do it. I'm just throwing that out there.
Jab my nigga back, and I try to keep it friendly, but at the end of the day,
that wasn't no jab, though. That wasn't no jab.
When I
7-minute drill wasn't no jab.
Listen to it, and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace. So what I want to say right here tonight is, in the midst of me doing that and in that shit, trying to find a little angle and downplay this nigga's fucking catalog and his greatness, I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a
Maybe he was conflicted. I promise I wasn't trying to put that lyric in there. Maybe he was conflicted. Maybe in some universe, because it happens even with good friends. Maybe in some universe there is something there. Maybe in some universe there is, I am comfortable with my own success. I am proud of my friend's success, but I'm a little bit jealous about some of the fanfare. I'm a little bit jealous of some of the awards that are being won. I would never say this out loud, but if given an aggressive opportunity to make the people believe it's a friendly fade, maybe I'll get off some of that passive aggressive shit. That's the one thing about that 7-minute drill that it felt very passive aggressive. That's where I have my issues just as a hip hop fan in this moment. I listen to that, it feels like, nah, okay, you just reaching on this. Damn, maybe you really did feel this way. Why you didn't say that before? That's why I feel like when it comes to battling in general, this next generation, y'all gotta have a different conversation about battling, because it's way too many men out. It's way too many bitches out here disguised as men. Oh yeah, we finna do that today. It's way too many of y'all who fly out here ready to diss somebody, but your bitch ass can't take it if somebody says it to your face in conversation. It's way too many of y'all who are pussified and scared as fuck to say the same shit you would say over a beat over the phone. Your voice tremble, your voice shake. You know how to get it right when you got multiple takes, but you can't do that when it's in front of your face. And I hate it because the shit's happened to me. When I got people that, I ain't gonna bring his name up, but the person that decided to make a diss song for me and all he got was a Keith Lee video. I've seen this gentleman. I've seen him in shows. I've given him advice. The last message he gave to me on Facebook was how much of an inspiration I was. And the moment he saw something that didn't sit right in his soul and an opportunity to go at me, he dissed me. I don't see manliness in that. I see bitch-made material in that. I see someone who does not know how to process their emotions. I don't see hip-hop, my friend, brother. I see trauma. I see unprocessed trauma. I'm not about to sit here and make you no angry poem. I'm about to call out the shit that I see. And the same thing applies to rappers in the industry. I don't care how rich they are. Because I tell you right now, there's a billionaire right now that's number 6 on the Forbes list that is hurt. Because his bitch ass is not number 3 or 2. If it can happen for a billionaire, it can happen for these rappers. So I look at this situation and I say, that is one situation I look at and I say, yeah, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it too. But some people like to show they pink beret ways in plain sight. Shout out to this guy. Shout out to this guy. You guys know him? Did you know that today, this is where I have the biggest issue with this J. Cole thing. Okay. You have your opinions about J. Cole. Okay, you felt like he could have handled that in a different way. Perfect. I understand. What about this nigga? What about this one? You know, the guy that just appealed the dismissal of the Not Like Us defamation case, calls the ruling dangerous? I just know you lying. All this conversation about how boring J. Cole's music is, about how you can't take his lyrics serious. Can you take this nigga lyrics serious? Can you take his mob tie serious? What can you take serious about him? Except for the burlesque. Tell me. This person said the part that I've been thinking in my mind the whole time. Look at him. Shout out to Biggs Nugga. Drake is trying to set legal precedent that rap lyrics can be treated as verifiable statements of facts. But that boy's straight CIA.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
You literally have someone who's trying to change the infrastructure of this all for us, for every single layer of this, and has the power to at least bring it up to some of the biggest courts. That boy straight CIA. But we giving Cole this treatment for apologizing. Okay, let's get into this story then. It says here, let me go ahead and shorten this up. It says Drake moves to appeal dismissal, which is no new news. But I think the new news in this is on Hot New Hip Hop. The new news is some of the things that his lawyers lay out in the 60-page document that are really, really concerning, especially if you're a hip hop head and you're a fan of the freedom of expression in your art form. It says Drake is not giving up on his legal battle. That shit would never not be funny. With Universal Music Group over Kendrick Lamar's hit diss track, Not Like Us. I don't want to hear none of you wet lip owls talking about get over the battle already. I know why you want to get over it. Because you can't heal a wound if you keep picking up the Band-Aid.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Stop telling it to us and go tell it to your mans. Last January, Jesus, you mean like a year ago? Drake filed a lawsuit against UMG for alleged defamation and harassment. In the lawsuit, he alleged that the company artificially inflated the success of Kendrick Lamar's hit diss song, Not Like Us. He alleges that in doing so, they knowingly promoted the false and malicious narrative that he's an alleged predator. Or did they just promote a song? In October, Judge Jeanette Vargas dismissed the lawsuit, arguing that Kendrick's lyrics can't be considered defamatory because listeners wouldn't take them as fact. The artist's 7-track rap battle was a war of words that was the subject of substantial media scrutiny and online discourse, she wrote. Although the accusation that plaintiff is a PDF is certainly a serious one, the broader context of a heated rap battle with incendiary language and offensive accusations hurled by both participants would not incline the reasonable listener to believe that Not Like Us imparts verifiable facts about plaintiff. Yeah, but Drake's not reasonable. Drake isn't giving up, however. Just hold on, we're still in more. Rolling Stone reports that the Toronto rapper filed an open appellate brief yesterday in hopes of overturning the ruling and reviving his pursuit of damages. In the brief, Drake alleges that Kendrick's track states that he's a certified PDF as an unambiguous matter of fact. The fact that he has to still have a conversation with his lawyers before this shit goes public about these details. He's still reading the lyrics? Somebody still read the lyrics for you? This is the story that never ends. It goes on and on, my friends. Golly, it would have been over with if you'd have sat your ass down somewhere. You just been known as a guy like that got his ass whooped in the battle. It'd have been over with. Now you're the guy that got his ass whooped in the battle, got up, said, I'm suing all you fuckers, and then you did it. Moreover, Drake alleges that the lower court created a dangerous categorical rule that would protect artists and their labels from defamation liability, regardless of how damaging their claims might be. This ain't about no other artists, because no other artist is asking for this protection except for Drake. Such a diva. The court effectively created an unprecedented and overbroad categorical rule that statements in rap diss tracks can never constitute statements of fact. He alleges UMG's response brief is due on March 27th. This is embarrassing. So then why is he not getting the treatment? Well, everybody's not so focused on J. Cole. There were a few clips that I saw here that were really interesting. This was one here by the
Appealing the
Breakfast Club.
dismissal-
This is one here by the Breakfast Club that was kind of funny.
Of his defamation lawsuit. So a few months ago, he filed notice. So we knew that the appeal was coming. The document and the filing is actually here. It's 60 pages. And Drake is appealing this lawsuit against Universal Music Group. He's asking this case to be sent back, and he says that it should be decided by a trial, not by a motion to dismiss.
He wants a trial. He wants a trial. On day 6 of this trial, we're going to break down what he actually meant when he said, pass his body, I'm John Stockton. And this piece of evidence,
He says that Kendrick Lamar is not like us, he alleges, is an ambiguous matter of fact. So the issue when the judge decided to dismiss it was that the judge basically said there's no way that a song can be taken as like proven like fact, right? Drake is arguing
a judge should not be more hip-hop than a rapper in hip-hop.
something different. He's also claiming that Universal Music Group relentlessly marketed the song in a way that misled customers and caused some serious harm.
UMG relentlessly promoted a song that made them money. That's the news? That's what you suing for. Isn't that how you became popular? They put money behind songs that organically got some motion? That shit ain't going nowhere. This is hilarious.
And he says in this filing that it's dangerous for certain actions not to be taken when things like this happen, because you're basically telling people that they can defame people.
What about the danger to free speech? This is not the time to be trying to restrict free speech. This is not the time to be trying to compress regulations on hip hop, especially when it's originally an American art form. Get your Canadian bitch ass out of here. You came and played with some niggas out here and got your ass handed to you, and you want to change the whole laws in that city. You got beat up in the park, and now you want the park to have more security. You got beat up in the park, and now you want the park to have more security, even though you yourself jumped into it. Please make it make sense.
Relentlessly.
It's a rap battle. So once again, why don't these things apply to him? This man said that Kendrick beat his wife. This man said that Kendrick's
baby's not
his best friend Dave Free got his wife pregnant. Why doesn't that apply to him then?
I really don't understand Drake at this point, because it went away, right? People weren't talking about it, right? They just started talking about his new album. What was the Iceman album?
No, Drake just keep making it colder and colder for Iceman.
What a name. What a name. I think it's going to have to be studied. It's got to be studied. It has got to be studied of the L after L after L after L after L. What's the letter of the day, kids? L. He just kept taking them left and right. I cannot wait for somebody to make that documentary, because it isn't. Well, you buy popcorn and just watch. This shit is insane. How did you come up with a project called Iceman in the year that ICE is terrorizing citizens? It couldn't get no worse than it. That's karma. That ain't even that ain't no plan. That ain't no conspiracy. That's karma. That is you reap what you sow.
That's the perfect name for that album. If it seems a little chilly for Drake, it's because he does, silly stuff like this.
Yeah.
That is the perfect name. And I keep telling y'all, Bobby Drake, who's Iceman, was a gay superhero.
I'll be damned. Oh, it keeps piling in, because Drake ain't the only one that got issues over there, Young Money. Oh, it gets worse. But somehow, shout out to Mona. Somehow Mona found a way to throw a jab at Drake. I need to see more of this content than the disrespect for that man J. Cole's art. He ain't he's telling a story about it. You don't want a nigga just to say nothing? Just go away? Nah, because he is still a top tier lyricist. No matter what it is, you can't take that man's skill set from him. Credibility, go ahead and debate it. You cannot take that man's skill set and contributions from him. That shit wasn't an accident, what he did. He had to work to become that. Maybe that's my bias as an artist kicking in, and I don't mind, but I just for any artist not named Drake, I'm gonna always make sure I defend the artistry.
Don Cocksucking Lemon. It's like a known gay man has been in media for 1,000 years. We know he a cocksucker, Nick. Like, bro, like,
Maybe I started at the wrong timestamp.
That's something new. You know what I mean? Like, come out like, oh my God, my brother really did fuck that 11-year-old. That would be new info.
Sun-kissed musings. Go, save your argument for at the end of the conversation, because we still gonna have a back and forth conversation. You're acting obtuse. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. I am not acting obtuse. I've acknowledged exactly what we're talking about with his character. Don't say that. Obtuse seems like I'm doing this shit for content. You should know me by now. My integrity is a lot better than that. I'm genuinely sitting here as someone who is a fan of his artwork, watching him do things that are detached from a battle 2 years removed, and the character that he exhibited in apologizing. You're telling me the contradictions in his statements, the hypocrisy in his words, is why we can't enjoy the art itself? That's all I'm talking about. I didn't say that I wanted to go hang out with the nigga. And I'm not even trying to separate the art from the artist. I'm giving the artist an opportunity to tell me the reality of things I don't have perspective on. So it's no obtuse. I get why people have that issue. My thing is, what I genuinely don't get, Sun-kissed musings. How are people having a bigger problem with things like Port Antonio and not the nigga Drake suing? How is this a bigger... Mona, please.
Because, I mean, we know from the court case, but you never said it. You know what I mean? Like, come out like, yo, we did bully that girl. My husband raped her because we wanted her to shut the fuck up. We really did bully her and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come out on that vibe. Or come out like, yo, Wayne breath is bad with them grills. Because we thought it.
Nah, don't talk about Lil Wayne.
Fuck Lil Wayne.
Oh, damn, Mona.
Hey, what I want.
Yeah, he ain't doing
no
nothing to
friend of
nobody.
mine. Fuck that. I don't appreciate it. And where the fuck is Young Money? Why ain't nobody coming out telling this bitch to shut up? Where Drake at? I love Nicki Minaj. I swear I committed.
Drake defending himself right now. He got other shit to worry about.
Drake is ruining them new abs he bought. Right now eating a Wagyu burger. Fat bitch.
That's the worst I never thought I ever hear. He said this nigga is ruining his abs eating a Wagyu burger, you fat bitch. I thought I'd never hear those words before. But damn it, the way that Mona has a way with winding up to words, good gosh. One more time.
What shit to worry about?
Drake is ruining them new abs he bought. Right now eating a Wagyu burger. Fat bitch.
The leader.
You can't just work out, you fat fuck.
I need that kind of energy for all of this stupid ass shit. Come talk to me. I need more of that energy dedicated to Drake and less to Cole. Like, I get the pushback. I don't get people going out of their way to add even more fuel to it. And I don't think it's going to disappear when he finally addresses the situation and even takes accountability. I can see him taking accountability. My thing is, why can't the art be enjoyed? And it's not like he came out and said, "Hail Hitler." It ain't like he got a bunch of red pillars dancing in Miami clubs getting banned because they're listening to Hail Hitler. It ain't like he said slavery was a choice. Okay, I'm sorry. Am I saying too much? Am I saying too much? It's not like he walked out there and had an interview with DJ Academics in a Black Klansman uniform. Okay, okay. Mental health, right? Mental health. We excuse it when it's mental health. Okay. I'm trying my best not to make it an argument of comparing, but I look at this shit. He might as well? Really, Miss Reptilia? You think he might as well? You think that's the same kind of level playing field? All right, y'all talk to me. Give me your think pieces. I want to read the, I don't mean that in a sarcastic way. Give me your thoughts, because now this is your part of the show. I want you to help me to understand why you can't let it go. Not even let it go, but why it's making it such a damage for you to listen to his music. I'm going to look through these super chats, but keep those responses coming in, because I'm actually very, very genuinely curious about why does it have such a sting for you still today. Let me go through these. Cole got a stage fright. your little boy boss caught the penance stare. I'm tired of Joe. Okay? What was Cole supposed to do when Dot dropped Meet the Grams? The beef wasn't about bars. It was about disrespect, and that's why Cole stepped to the side. Cole is Vlade Divac. Hey, wait a minute. Vlade Divac smoked cigarettes and ate pizza before NBA games. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't you fucking do that. Vlade Divac was one of the worst Lakers of all time. That nigga smoked cigarettes before NBA games. Don't do that. You are... Vlade, he throws elbows, slap you, push you, but when you boss up on Vlade, he flop and make the ref call to stop you. Like, what? Huh? That sound like you sound like you describing Drake. But that's your opinion. John Cognito, thank you for the super chat. Drake and Dot have been dissing since Controlverse. This battle wasn't meant for J. Cole. He was just caught in the middle of it. He is the middle child once again. Ain't this how the middle child always get treated? He shouldn't get knocked out for not going the route of humiliation. I tell you this. I don't think it would have gotten anywhere near as personal as Drake versus Kendrick. But there's a possibility that it could. Can you imagine a scenario that would have been even worse than the apology? What does that look like after a battle for J. Cole? Does he have a moment where Kendrick is just cooking him? And now he got to do his version of Super Ugly, talking about condoms on baby seats, and then got to apologize for that? Like, does it go there? Is it a display of... Hold on, let me keep going. I want to acknowledge these. I miss Fridays, John Witherspoon. Them words still hold hella weight to this day. To live, to fight another day. Can I ask if Schoolboy Q allegedly told Cole to back out of Dreamville Fest doesn't play a part? I mean, we haven't got it confirmed, I guess. Funny, Kendrick Lamar's last bar on Like That flips Push's bar on Dreaming of the Past. Same song Pusha revealed censorship because of Drake. Tried to censor and block me, you hollering top 5, I only see top me. Just saying, I don't think J. Cole's discography should get shitted on because of that moment. Yeah, I don't either, because every one of his bars are not I'm the best rapper alive bars. I think he is a top tier writer, and I think that even in this battle, even after Drake went and fought in that battle, he still somehow ended up number 3 in the big 3. I'm with Rob Markman. Rob Markman said that, and I've agreed ever since. He still came out number 2. Because this display to me as a hip hop fan is more embarrassing in the courthouse than it is being the first one to throw a punch back and then being a hypocrite in the process. I'm not saying one is good and one is bad. They both bad. But I think what's happening here is going to do it to where nobody else will ever be able to get any diss songs off. If Drake has his way, you niggas is not getting no diss songs anymore. How does that trickle down to battle rap then? How does someone who comes into this space that doesn't understand the ethics of a battle rap in battle rap culture, how does that work for them if they're outside of the culture and they get embarrassed in front of 1 million, 2 million people who watch the battle on YouTube? How does that change that now? Because you can bring in lyrics to the courthouse because of fucking Drake. I'm saying this has more detrimental consequences than the things that I've seen from Cole. Now, do I agree with the things? No. But if Drake won this battle and had his way, he was trying to take the ball so nobody could play basketball at the court no more. He was trying to demolish the courts. Nobody plays basketball out there. I got balled up like that. All right, I don't even know where to start with some of these responses. I'm gonna find where you at, Sunkissed Music, because I know you had the biggest issue with what I said, and I'm here for it. You know, it's all love. It's always love. It's just hip hop debates. That's all it is. It ain't never nothing personal. If I'm having that conversation with you, it's because I love you so much, and plus I don't want to be arguing with nobody a day before my birthday. You feel me? Like that right there. I don't want to argue with nobody before my birthday, because like that right there, I don't know, man. It's just not my style.
I can't believe that it's Freaky Friday. It's Freaky Friday.
I'm all about peace. I'm all about peace, man. I'm all about peace. You know, just moving forward with life. You feel me? I'm sick of Drake. He needs to freaking retire and leave the culture alone. The paradox is that Cole's apology and hypocrisy is an indirect co-signment to Drake suing. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think that Cole's apology and hypocrisy is an indirect consignment to Drake suing? How you make that connection? If we call Cole one of the best, then we undermine rap battles in general. How y'all feel about that one? I don't know. I don't know where I'm at with that one. That's I'd have to understand how you found that throughway. I would respect Cole if he would disavow Drake. That would change everything for me. Okay, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. If he came up and said, look, Drake is probably one of the most instrumental people in my career, and the Drake that I knew early on was very supportive of my career. He looked out, he went to the Best Buy and bought albums of mine, and he's somebody that pushed me to want to be better. But this display that I've seen over the last 2 years is fucking embarrassing, and I can't stand next to that. But who knows if they've had private conversations where he tried to check him, and who knows what his ego was like and whether or not you could even do that. But I do think that's a step in the right direction. You cannot play both sides. You can't, see, I'm with you now, I'm understanding. You cannot apologize for your actions, but then in a Port Antonio come out and say things that sound like you're still trying to keep things safe on both sides. Because if you saw this, and this was after the lawsuit was already filed, and you still said, hey man, it's cool. That to me make me want to pull your hip hop card. Because then you just end up being like a 7-foot basketball player that you don't necessarily got a passion for basketball. You just tall as hell and you got some skill sets. You tall as hell and you got some skill sets. And therefore you dominate the league. Like you really worked at your skill sets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with you. This is why I'm leaving it open to you. Y'all are the greatest. Shout out to y'all. Y'all the greatest co-host ever.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Damn, Miss Wreck to you. Once MAGA, always MAGA. Cole is the equivalent of MAGA because they will gaslight the hell out of you and rewrite history to enhance aesthetics. Well, alrighty then. Alrighty then. Explicit Eli says Drake sued after the battle. He should be disqualified after that. Cole just bowed out. This wasn't shadow boxing your homie. This was schmurder your homie to him. Drake sued after the battle. He should be disqualified after that. Cole just bowed. Nah, Cole didn't just bow out. That's where I'm on the other side of things. He didn't just bow out. That Port Antonio made the water a little bit murky. And although it felt, when you listen to that song, it feels like a journal entry that went public, where he's still trying to figure out some things. Maybe he doesn't have it all figured out in terms of how he's, making sense of all of this, right? How he's mending fences or how he feels about the relationships that he's had. I don't know, but it just made things more confusing, I think, for the general listener. That was one of them songs where it's like, maybe it didn't have to go to the public. But then again, how can you tell that to an artist who wants to get their shit off? But I'ma still say you can't name me in that space, that mainstream rap space, you can't name me 10 rappers better than Cole. But I get it. I look, DIYers, I'm understanding where you're coming from. I just wanted to get some perspective on it, but I do feel like a lot of that smoke that y'all got, going out your way to find that smoke, He right there. Drake right there. He right there. Those are my thoughts. What else we got in here? Hell no, that does not correlate whatsoever. Drake has been soft since that Hot 97 and Elliot, damn, you butchered Elliot Wilson's name. Elliot Wilson interview after Control. Oh, you had to get that off. Thank you so much for the super chat. DORs, these are my thoughts. Oh boy, they about to go crazy today. You let me know what you think.
DIY.
Tear in your eye.